Mr. Hertzwan, Mr. Hertzwan, are you here? I let out an audible shout that echoed throughout the store. If my logic is sound, I should hear a response soon. Ritona, there's someone over there! Between home and his watering hole, there's only one place Hertzwan could be. Selphine snuck behind me and pressed herself against my back. Hertzwan, we have something urgent to discuss with you. I
hear something groaning, Ritona. It doesn't sound human either.
Oh, it's human alright. It's just the sound of a human who's had more ale than it can handle. From within I heard the most abhorrent groans to ever pollute my ear canals. Hi, Hertzwan. That hit the spot. Selphine is very happy to see him. Selphine cooked up a few delectable morsels to help Hertzwan recover from his hangover. Clearly he's found a new addiction next to ale.
If you would like seconds, then just say the word, Mr. Hertzwan.
If only he knew the true identity of his chef. He hasn't a clue that the future monarch of Rughzenhaide just cooked a meal for a commoner like him. What a little bitch. He should be so honored. Hertzwan, you had best be grateful.
Ritona, are you hungry? You should have said something if you were hungry.
I'm not hungry, nor am I grumpy from hunger. I should probably turn down now. Okay. Even though I love the music, you know, gotta hear my voice. You sure there, Missy? There's something like a party in your mouth. I haven't such a scrumptious supper like that since me mum passed. Much like that. Yeah, much less one that packs that much of a sobering punch. How old are you?
It doesn't have anything to do with it. You see, I'm used to cooking these meals for Ritona when she's hung.
Oh, Ritona gets crunk. We all know Ritona gets crunk. I covered Selphine's mouth as quick as I could. Milady, I believe we shouldn't waste Mr. Hertzwan's time, or ours, any longer, and address the issue at hand.
Alright, yes, you're quite right, Ritona.
You don't have to share my drinking habits with people from halfway around the world, Selphine. You really don't have to. Oh my god, Ritona's the... like, if there's a scene where Ritona gets crunk, I want to see it. Whatever it is, feel free to tell me. You both couldn't have come at a better time. I feel like I was dying. Tell me what's on your minds.
Thank you, Mr. Hertzwan.
But before we dive into business, let's drink to the fate for bringing us together again. Hertzwan retrieved the flask from his overalls, threatening to undo all of Selphine's efforts. He took a long swig while we merely stood in silence. It looks like Selphine shit herself. Zara! I can't say that I've heard of her before.
She was the other girl who was with us both yesterday, Mr. Hertzwan.
Well, in that case, yesterday was the first time I met her. You see, I have a real selective memory. The only names I put to faces are the folks who are either a part of my regular clientele or the folks I see at events every night. Shame. Maybe Sarah isn't from around this part of town. I don't suppose she is either. Rune did say that it was a long while since she last dined with Adavir's Tavern. She doesn't come to this side of Cadia all that often. I wonder what brought her to that pawn shop where she first saw us. Say, is your establishment part of the mana grid as well? If you asked me that question when I was still smashed, then I wouldn't ask why. So, Missy, why are you asking? I suppose it is a silly question, but you know, we aren't from around Cadia. Oh, gets me, why don't you? The entire city of Cadia knows the entire Hedapole is dependent on the mana grid. You both may not be Cadians, but I say it's best to square away a basic understanding of our society's fabric. if you know what I'm getting at. Don't go walk around asking willy-nilly about things that even a child would know. You'll get funny looks and funny folks following you both around. Your word of caution is appreciated. That's the second time we've been warned about attracting attention.
With us, one, we've been told that Sarah works at Civit's Enterprise. Apparently she's in charge of changing out something called a filter around this area.
I know you didn't meet her until yesterday, but have you ever seen her stop by before to do that filter swap? Can't say I have. If she works at Civit's Enterprise, then all the more reason for her not to come around these parts. What makes you say that? We're on the opposite side of town, and our manakravte ain't owned or serviced by Civit's Enterprise. We're on high-vis manakravte.
High-vis?
Oh, the Civit's only competition when it comes to manakravte management. The method of siphoning mana is a little different. Get this, they siphon mana straight from the atmosphere. It's literally right out of thin air. How is that even possible? That shouldn't be possible, especially on the outer pole. The atmosphere is bereft of any mana. Well, what about the border with the inner pole, huh? The atmosphere there is just thick with nature's untapped mana. Now, I haven't been to it personally, but I hear that the mana there is, what is it again? Colored? Mana that's colored? Anyways, colored mana that's found in the atmosphere is apparently very different from the purified mana that they dig up out of the mana mines. Mainly colored mana is unusable in its natural state. Does something to the inner pole's colored mana to make it work like purified mana. Long story short, you won't see any folks from Civit's Enterprise come round to this side of town. They've got no reason to.
Then, do you know anything about a god named Ron?
His entire body stiff and straight. He appeared to be paralyzed just by hearing the name alone. Hertzman reacted to in the exact same way as the lady proprietor from earlier. Whoa. Took a large swig from his flask in his hand and sighed slightly. That wasn't the name I was expecting to hear from either of you. I need a lot of ale to wash that lump down. Was Rune really that much of a wild child, Hertzman? A wild child is putting it pretty mildly. Not in my whole life have I ever seen a girl as wicked as her. Hertzman shares the lady's opinion as well. She took out my little nephew's left eye, blinded him. Shit.
What?
Hertzman.
She didn't.
She did. And I'd like to leave it at that if you don't mind. I don't like bringing up bad memories while I'm still sober. And I don't like spitting on the grave of any child, no matter how rotten they were in life. Wait. Well... What's the matter? Now, I don't want to oppose or anything, but seeing that I do owe you both a debt of gratitude, I figure it wouldn't hurt none to mention this. There's a man that goes by the name of Albus Dumbledore, in the employ of Rudozvitz. Seek him out. If anyone's got the answers to all your questions, it's gonna be Albus. Try the tavern tomorrow night. You should be able to meet him there. Dots? I was about to end the recording, but holy crap, this is weird. Just this one more scene. Civit's Enterprise boardroom. 4 men dressed in overly fine and formal suits are having a heated discussion. Apparently Rune is there. Of the 4 people, only 3 of the men were seated along the table for 10, but they sat far apart from each other. Why, one could not say. The one standing near the corner wore a sympathetic expression. He spoke softly with the other 3, while Sarah remained huddled behind him. The man The original policy that we applied to every employee in Savit's enterprise promised appropriate benefits and remunerations? Rations? I don't know. I asked as we refrained from this exercise in futility by dragging this settled matter back onto this table to be violated. I'd like to tell Sarah? Rune? Violate is a strong word, don't you agree? And also, that was the original policy. The policy we have now is different. This is the first time we've had an incident this serious. The other sisters did not take any issue with the work policies, so why now? I'd like to quantify that this is an isolated incident. Sarah, let's hear what you have to say regarding this matter.
I apologize for my actions.
I take this as an admission of your guilt then. Why would you do something so illogically selfish? Your action of attempted theft goes against every fundamental aspect of your existence. Do you not completely understand what your purpose is? You only exist because Savit's enterprise allowed you to exist. You belong to us, do you understand?
Understood.
I'm not suggesting that Sarah's crime goes unpunished. I'm not suggesting that Sarah's crime goes unpunished. Let the punishment fit the crime is all I'm saying. Why would you just spare us your sentimentality, Albus? Oh, it's Albus! We would love nothing more than to stay clear the issue of the sisters. I hope you realize that. The sisters? Are the sisters like Rune clones? I'll need to find a new voice for Albus. I believe the conclusion reached from the collective input from the board of directors was indicative of your full cooperation of the matter of the sisters. You're absolutely correct. Our course of action in regards to any issues determined by our collective vote. This guy's a prick. He looks like one of the judges from MasterChef Australia. We agreed to proceed with the sisters because the profit margin was favourable. They make fine miners and we're all aware of that. But if I had any say in the matter, I wouldn't have given the sisters project as much consideration beyond the paper the project proposal was written on. It seems like the sisters are just like created as laborers, right? Just like cheap labor. They don't have to pay for anything. But Sid's side is gone now. Did we all not discuss and agree upon who to entrust the management of the Sisters project to, should anything happen to Sid? Yes, we agree that Ruda Savitz will be placed in charge upon his father's passing. If he can manage being the CEO of an entire conglomerate, adding another project into the mix for him to oversee could be no issue. This attitude of yours, Growlies? Oh, it's this, is that the father of Hertzwan? I don't know. How much longer are you planning on keeping this up? Because it certainly sounds like you're trying to delegate tasks that the board of directors could easily handle to Sid's progeny instead? I don't know. Look around you, Albus. Look how many people showed up. This should be a clear indication of how the board feels about this matter. The Sisters Project was never a popular topic amongst the other directors. Look at that expression of profound sadness. You stand there subjugating us to this and question our commitment to this board and company. Why does she even have a depressing expression? Clearly she's just messing with us at this point. I say we dispose of her to prevent any issues of this sort from arising in the foreseeable future. You know we can't do that. That's why we're here, to talk. Did you really think that we're going... do you really think there weren't going to be any issues? We were bound to face problems. I'm surprised they didn't arise earlier. The way that your words so easily spill from your mouth is proof enough that the only care you have is your bottom line. Bottom line, you say? Careful there, Albus. You wouldn't want to start sounding like a hypocrite, would you? Do you subsist solely on your science? Surely you must be paid for your specific services, much like the rest of us. Why don't we just put this conversation on ice before we say anything incendiary in the heat of the moment? No, we don't need a mediator. I want to know why we should devote our precious resources to reporting something that none of us want our hand in. You may be onto something, but Albus has a valid point as well. Although we agreed on our course of action in the event of Sid's passing, I believe forcing the Sisters Project onto the CEO is unreasonable. Hello there, Rudo. Oh crap, now I have two people with the same voice. Gentlemen, I apologize for the delay. Rudo. Oh god. Rudo. I guess I'll go with this voice. Rudo. Mr. Vince, impeccable timing. Rudo, there's something we need to address here now. Everyone on this board acknowledges that you are more than capable than earlier. Your management skills are top-notch, and have seen your father's company through better days than he ever could. But look around you, Rudo. Only 4 of the total 12 directors are present. With the exception of Albus, nobody else from Laboratory 9 bothered to show up. The others had an emergency to attend to. They would have been here otherwise. Of course, the most vocal members regarding the issue for the board are you 4. The rest of us want no part in this matter anymore. So with all due respect, I ask that, for the sake of the company, you make the best decision by killing our common point of contention right here and now. Let me get this straight. 4 out of the 12 directors of Savitz Enterprises board wasted the last hour voicing their disdain for an issue amongst themselves, without any progress to show for it. Is that correct? Rudolph! Regardless of how you feel towards the Sisters Project, the fact remains that the project is generating a steady and sustainable source of revenue for the company. Am I mistaken? You haven't. Sarah. Sir? When I give you a command, I expect absolute obedience. Tell me, did I not command you to cease all extracurricular activities?
Yes, you did issue that command.
Rudo, do you recall Sid's conditions for the management of the Sisters Project? All sisters involved in the company's activities are to receive monetary compensation, or an alternative form of compensation for their services. The form of compensation isn't fixed for each and every pay period, but the approval of an alteration is entirely at the discretion of the on-site overseer. Sarah knew this, and only invoked her rights as an employee. Spare me the speech, Albus. In other words, you find fault with my decision to have Sarah reprimanded. Think that I haven't already considered the possibility that you speak of. Unfortunately for you, I already have. Then why? As the CEO of Savitz Enterprise, I reserve the right to amend or annul certain conditions of the clause you present. For example, I could propose an overhaul to the entire compensatory system for the project and cut monetary compensation, leaving only the alternative. But have you heard any word from the sisters of such a drastic or illogical course of action being taken? No, is the only answer, Albus. All sisters involved in the project vastly prefer monetary compensation, which makes Sarah's crime of theft even more pregnant, than before. With these facts established, Albus, do you still find your defense of Sarah's actions to be justified? Of course you wouldn't, because you're far too cunning to fight a futile battle. But I hate to bring something like this up in a public setting, but we aren't in the lab, Albus. I am your superior outside of Lab 9. I'd appreciate it if you can respect that notion. No, I understand. Henceforth, I'll proceed with prudence. Moving on. On the subject of Sarah's crime, we will address that tomorrow after our regular session, with all directors on this board present and accounted for. I consider any incident of theft, be it petty or grand, to be one worthy of calling attention to. Would the fact that you feel compelled to address this matter before the entire board mean that you're assuming all responsibility? This is not a matter of who is assuming responsibility, Director Crowley's. Nowhere did I mention that I would ask the board of directors to address this issue and collectively assist in considering measures against future theft. I am only calling attention to this incidents of theft. Clearly, Director Growskis, you understand the distinction between an announcement and a call for action, do you not? Allow me to clarify myself, so that we can proceed without any room for misinterpretation. I am bringing up Sarah's actions to make all members aware of an incident of theft, which I consider a crime that is, tantamount to selling company secrets. Selling secrets? All I want in return for alerting the board of directors is their input on the incident. Now that I have clarified my intentions, why don't you tell us your basis for presuming that I'm playing the blame game? And please, don't leave any room for interpretation. You may leave, Mr. Director Growskis. I don't know even if I'm saying that right. I extend the same invitation to the rest of you, for nothing else is to be gained from what I have already ascertained. Sarah.
Yes?
Do you fully comprehend why I take issue with your actions?
I do.
Then prove it to me. Tell me exactly what it is that I take issue with. Tell me the reason why both Albus and myself had to take time out of our schedules to be here.
It's because I tried to take a sediment stone without getting permission first.
That is not what I take issue with.
It isn't?
You really don't understand the gravity of your actions, do you?
But
The issue at hand is the fact that even though you understand that the concept of theft is morally wrong, you made a conscious effort to commit theft.
No!
Sarah?
Yes?
You may return to the Mastermind to resume your duties. And I will come gather you when the board of directors have reached a consensus. I suggest you output more effort today, in lieu of the time you spent here.
Understood.
After you complete your shift, you are to return to your quarters and remain there until I say otherwise.
Yes, sir.
Make a note of what I'm about to say, Sarah. Whatever consensus is reached, when you return to your quarters tonight, you will not be confined nor will you be monitored. You are free to obey or disobey every command I issue you. You may even abandon everything here at Civet's Enterprise and leave if you so wish. In fact, you could kill both Albus and myself, right here and now. I advise you to think and come to your own conclusion in regards to your next course of action. Do you comprehend what it is exactly that I'm telling you?
I do.
Good. You may return to your duties.
Thank you.
And Sarah, there's one more thing that's bothering me. If you ever make eye contact with me again, do not, under any circumstance, smile. You will not smile in front of me, Sarah.
Understood.
Holy shit! What? What? So, okay. Sarah smiled at Rudo, right? She smiled... Oh, it's probably because of the memory of her sister. That's why they're called the sisters. Because Rudo's sister. But why the hell would he want to be constantly reminded of his sister by making, like, a whole team of dedicated to to her. The smile must be making what Rudo, like, what pisses him off. But holy crap, like, that freedom there? Like, you could kill us both if you want to? Oh, I hope she does it. But anyway, that's all I'm going to do for tonight. The story is picking up real... Like, that meeting scene was just... Oh, I loved it. I loved every second of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. We're going to continue on with Milestone 1, and I really want to see what happens to Rudo and Sarah. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.